Hey there, welcome to Story Time with Stacey. I'm Stacey, and I got a really neat story for you today. Have you ever gone to the doctor and you've been a little scared? Yeah, especially before you go. Yeah, it can be a little scary, can't it? Well, Tonyae, that's the author of this really great book. It talks just about what happens on the way to the doctor and while you're there. And it's called Twyla Visits The Pediatrician. Pediatrician is another word for child doctor. Isn't that a neat word? I thought so. So if you want to go ahead and get settled, we'll get started. So are you ready to read? Me too. Let's start.
Twyla Visits the Pediatrician. Written by Tonyae S Butler. Illustrated by Dananja Subasinghe. Twyla sat in the back seat of the car and hugged her teddy bear Buttons. Her arms began to shake. Her lips quivered. Her heart beat really fast. Twyla was finally going to the pediatrician. This is the day she wished wouldn't happen. Are you sure we can't go to the amusement park? Twyla asked her mom. Buttons and I think that would be more fun. I'm sure, said Mom with a smile. You need your checkup before you start school. Twyla didn't remember her last checkup, so she didn't know what to expect this time around. Twyla felt like she might have a tantrum. She began to feel a bit queasy as thoughts fluttered through her mind. What she knew of pediatricians' visits from TV was some kids left crying while others left smiling. She couldn't quite understand what was happening in the exam rooms. She knew they used weird tools to examine different parts of the body. The thought of getting poked in the brain made her lips quiver even more. Nobody had ever examined Twyla's brain before, so she didn't know what to expect. Would he pierce it with a needle to see her thoughts? She knew pediatricians gave kids strange medicine that tastes gross. What if the doctor gave her a pill that mixed her heart up like it was in a blender? She could imagine the doctor's voice, "One Twyla vegan smoothie coming right up." This just made her heart beat even faster. Worst of all to Twyla were the shots. Twyla has also seen them on TV before. Pediatricians had big, long needles the size of porcupine quills. Her arms were really shaking now as she began to fall into a light sleep, thinking of nothing but needles. Mom pulled up to the doctor's office. "Goodbye," Twyla said to Buttons. "I'll probably look very different the next time you see me," she said sarcastically. "You don't have to say goodbye. Take Buttons with you. She needs a checkup too," Mom shouted. "Buttons looks scared also," Mom acknowledged. Mom was right. Buttons did look scared. "It will be okay," Twyla reassured her nervous teddy bear. Buttons could feel the love and was encouraged that everything would be fine. Twyla and Buttons sat down while Mom checked in. Twyla's lips quivered. Her heart beat really fast. Her arms shook. "It will be okay," she whispered to Buttons again, as reality sank in that there was no turning back. A few minutes later, Twyla heard her name. She looked up. She expected to see a terrifying, mad scientist with crazy hair and creepy goggles. But her doctor did not look mean at all. In fact, he was a she. She had a nice, sweet smile. Her name was Dr. Morris. Still, Twyla just knew Dr. Morris would toss her heart into a blender or some other kitchen appliance. Dr. Morris pulled out a tool with a long wire. She pressed the end of it to Twyla's heart. Twyla squeezed Button's paw, but it didn't hurt at all. "Sounds good," said Dr. Morris. "It didn't turn into a blender?" asked Twyla. Dr. Morris shook her head and laughed. Next, Dr. Morris put something pointy into Twyla's ear. Twyla hugged Buttons tightly, but then it was over. Dr. Morris did not go anywhere near Twyla's brain. This exam was nothing like Twyla imagined. Twyla knew the shot was next. Dr. Morris offered to give Buttons her shot first. Buttons looked scared. Twyla gave Buttons a pep talk to be a big girl. Dr. Morris prepped the shot, and just like that it was over. "Just a small pinch," said Dr. Morris. After the shot, Buttons was fine. Twyla took a deep breath. "All right, give me the shot. I'm ready now." "Already done," said Dr. Morris. "What?" Twyla exclaimed. She hadn't felt a thing. A light pinch, just like the one Buttons felt. As it turned out, the pediatrician wasn't so bad after all. She was gentle, her voice was soft and airy. She even made jokes so her new patients would laugh. The pediatrician's office wasn't an amusement park, but it was a little fun. There were colorful Band-Aids, lollipops, cool wall art, and lots of books. Dr. Morris whispered that she gave Mom a treat for Twyla being such a big girl. As Twyla and Mom were leaving, Mom pulled the sweetest lollipop out of her purse to reward her daughter for a job well done. "You did good, Twyla." With a look of curiosity on her face, Twyla agreed. "I sure did, Mom. Now, may I have my lollipop, please?" The end.
Twyla was a really brave little girl, wasn't she? And so was her teddy bear. And then at the end of it all, everything turned out great, didn't it? So going to the pediatrician isn't scary after all. Whew. I gotta go to the doctor, and I was a little scared, and this made me realize it's not that scary. Now, for the project today, it's a fun little sheet, and this top word says yes, this bottom word says no, and then you're going to draw lines. Like, do you think a chicken is something a doctor uses? If you think so, you're going to draw a line to the yes, or you're going to draw a line, if you don't think so, to the no. So you have fun with that, and if you need help from a grown-up, go ahead and get help from a grown-up, but I got a link in the description below where you can get your very own copy of this. And if you would love a copy of this book, I got a link below as well where you can learn more about Tonyae, and you can grab your very own copy. How neat is that? I thought so. Well, on that note, I really had fun reading with you today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And I really, really hope to see you again soon. Whether this is your first time here or you've been here before, if you want to know when my next story time is going to be, if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, it lets you know when it's coming up. Isn't that cool? I thought so too. Well, until next time, keep reading, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.